I honestly thought I was finished with Breath of the Wild 2 theories for the time being, as there is only so much that you can theorize and speculate about from a 1-minute trailer. Of course, there will be many more theories and discussions to come when more information is known about the game, likely whenever a new trailer or gameplay session is shown off by Nintendo. Now, before I get into this theory, I would like to credit Discord user Sub. He contacted me about this theory, and I honestly loved it. I believe it could be possible, so I took up the chance to create a video covering it, so full credit to him for coming up with this theory. His channel is linked in the description. Assuming you read the title or saw the thumbnail, I'm sure you'll have figured out by this point, we will be talking about whose hand this is in the Breath of the Wild 2 reveal trailer. There has definitely been a lot of speculation about who this is, or what this is, but I personally believe the theory Sub has came up with could answer that question. So let's try and uncover the mystery of who the mysterious hand is in Breath of the Wild 2. To begin this theory, we need to look back to Zelda's mother, a character we don't know an awful lot of information about. However, we do know some. Firstly, we know that her mother passed away when Zelda was the age of 6, shortly before the Great Calamity. We also know that herself and Zelda possessed similar powers, sealing abilities, as her mother was supposed to train Zelda to unlock her hidden sealing power, but unfortunately, she passed away a year before Zelda's training was set to begin. Now, keep that information in mind. Something else that we know is that Princess Zelda and her mother, along with past descendants of the royal family, have commonly had the ability to sense when something bad is coming. Not every incarnation showed this trait, however, it is a common one throughout the series. Now, why is that relevant? Well, what if Zelda's mother sensed the second calamity coming? The one we see in Breath of the Wild. What's suggested in this theory is that once Zelda's mother passed away, she knew the calamity was coming. It was going to happen sometime in the coming years, and for that matter, she would be correct. It's also suggested that the royal family knew about this corpse, hidden away deep underground. The body being the ancient mummified corpse of Ganondorf from times long forgotten by the people of Hyrule. The reason for his sealing? Well, that's unknown. Hey there, future me talking. Now, this wasn't in the original script, but due to the release of new videos by Zeltic and Nintendo Black Crisis whilst I was creating this video, they released a theory that could explain the reason for sealing him there, along with what's going on, so go check it out. Now yes, this theory goes against my own theory of Link and Zelda not being below Hyrule Castle, but as this isn't my own theory, we are saying it's under the castle. This sounds bad, but this theory may change my mind. Anyway, what do we know about the Great Calamity? Well, we know that the origin of this event is that Ganon turned into a pure evil known as Malice long ago, creating Calamity Ganon, an evil and malicious force that wreaked havoc across Hyrule, but was ultimately sealed away 10,000 years ago. Knowing the Calamity was set to return, the spirit of Zelda's mother, now passed away, knew she had to take some form of action, but that's no easy task for a spirit. The theory suggests that when Calamity Ganon inevitably returned, he would seek a form to take, and that the corpse of Ganondorf would be his pick. Now, we do know that Calamity Ganon is mindless, and just a pure form of evil, so it's fair to assume that even though it's a mindless being of evil, it would still seek out and recognize the body of Ganondorf as a perfect place to reincarnate itself. It's clear that the malice within can and will possess the dead. This is shown with the stall enemies. What is suggested here is that Zelda's mother went down to the corpse of Ganondorf in the form of a spirit and performed some form of sealing magic on the great corpse, denying Calamity Ganon access to possessing the body. And this is exactly why we see Calamity Ganon reforming in Breath of the Wild atop of Hyrule Castle, because he has nothing to possess. so he was ultimately forced to reform, creating the mess of a creature we see at the end of Breath of the Wild. This would result in buying the kingdom more time, which would ultimately prove to be crucial to its survival. Another thing to add to this is that we know Malice is a very possessive being. It corrupted Sheikah technology for one, and more importantly, created the stall enemies we see, possessing deceased beings. So it's clear that it could possess Ganondorf's body if it wanted to. Now, how exactly did Zelda's mother contain Ganondorf's body? Well, as I mentioned earlier, she possesses sealing abilities, and strong ones at that. It could very well be possible that even in the form of a spirit, she is still able to use her abilities. Proof of this being possible is shown within the King of Hyrule. In Breath of the Wild, despite the fact that the King of Hyrule fell down all those years ago due to Calamity Ganon, he is still able to take the form of a Hylian, without looking like a spirit. He also shows his traits still work, as he is able to talk with Link without physically being by his side. And then towards the end of the Great Plateau section, we see him change his form into spirit form. It's clear that they can still have a presence. Now, you could ask, why do we not see Zelda's mother in a spirit form? We get to see the king and the champions after all. Well, what if she was occupied holding down and containing the body of Ganondorf to ensure that the Calamity couldn't possess it? I believe that makes a lot of sense, and could easily explain the absence of Zelda's mother in spirit form in Breath of the Wild. Think about it. Two great evils to seal and contain. Two royalties with sealing powers. Could it be? If this is Zelda's mother, there are still more questions to cover. What does this Gerudo text mean? How does the Zonai tribe tie into this location? And most importantly, how did the seal break? And what is going on with Link's arm? What significance does that have? Well, as far as the Gerudo text goes, that's a big mystery. The internet seems to be divided between it translating to Seal Ganon, but that is also proven to be false. To me, it's a mystery. As for the seal, how exactly did it break? Could Zelda's mother not hold and contain the corpse for much longer? Maybe the arrival of Link and Zelda broke it. It's quite the mystery, but if I was to think on the more speculative side, I'd imagine something has reawoken Ganondorf. Could it be the sealing of Calamity Ganon, resulting in any and all malice within the world seeking out a new form to possess and take over? Now, the big question. What's up with his arm? What significance does this have? What on earth is going on with Link's arm? Well, I believe I might know. I believe this could be Zelda's mother giving Link some form of her abilities. I can't say for sure what the abilities are, but it certainly seems like she's giving him something. Could this even be the souls of the dead? What do I mean by that? Well, you see, the cave systems leading up to this corpse is filled to the brim with what looks like luminous stone, just in a purer form found within Breath of the Wild. It is believed that the souls of the dead are what gives off their unique blue glow in the dark. Perhaps Zelda's mother has control of the many spirits within these caves, and together, those who fell during the tragedy of the Great Calamity are working together to support Link in taking on Ganondorf. That would almost be like revenge. The tragedy that took their lives has now been sealed away, and the malice that was at fault for the loss of their family members, friends, and just the entire kingdom has started seeking for new evil to possess, will finally be confronted by the spirits of whom it took in horrific fashion. Could the contents of this concept art potentially hint at how these spirits may help? We do know the Zelda team love to use ideas that never made it into a past game, but they still love. It's possible. One last thing to note, I didn't exactly know where to put this in the video, But notice how both Princess Zelda and this hand have some form of a brace? Yes, they do have differences, but they are both a bright golden colour. Whether that will play a role in the connection, we will have to wait and find out. So, is this mysterious glowing hand in Breath of the Wild 2 Zelda's mother? Considering the fact that she isn't present in spirit within Breath of the Wild, whilst the king and the champions are, along with the fact that if that corpse was there all along, you'd like to think the malice from the Great Calamity would have went straight for it, but it didn't. Why is that? The malice went to control almost everything else. Why would it leave out Ganondorf's body? That wouldn't make any sense at all. The theory suggests that Zelda's mother knew the calamity was coming, and she ensured that it wouldn't possess the body of Ganondorf, which the royal family more than definitely should know about. If this is true, that Zelda's mother essentially sacrificed having a spiritual presence to help her daughter learn her sealing power in order to contain the long-forgotten corpse of Ganondorf, then Zelda's mother could have potentially saved the entire kingdom without anyone ever knowing. Well, that is until the events of Breath of the Wild's sequel take place. This is going more speculative, but what if part of the story is Princess Zelda reuniting with her mother in the form of a spirit, only for things to take a turn for the worst, Ganondorf breaking free? What do you guys think? Do you believe that this could be Zelda's mother? Thank you for checking out the video, I really appreciate your time. As I said at the start of the video, this theory was brought to me by the Discord user Sub. If you like Super Smash Bros. Content, you may like his content. I have linked his channel in the description. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters, you guys really help myself and the channel out a ton. If you'd like to help support the channel, be sure to check out my Patreon page, but never feel obliged to donate. All support is very much appreciated. Again, thanks for watching, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.